Hey, OChemsters, this is Mrs. Vanderwall bringing you another OChemster video. Here I'm going through the answers to your Chapter 10 Carboxylic Acid Nomenclatures. My hope is that you actually did this first, and then we're just checking your answers, okay? So the number one I thought was pretty straightforward. So here is your 4-methyl pentanoic acid. Here I have my 5 carbons, so it's my pentanoic acid, and my methyl group is on the 4th. Remember, this is always your first carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your next one was 2,2-dichlorobutanoic acid. So here it is. Here's my 1, 2, 3, 4 of my 2 chlorines on the second. The next one is the 3-hydroxy hexanoic acid. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the third carbon, always using this as your first, I have the hydroxy, the OH group. The next one is kind of the weird cyclobutane carboxylic acid. All right, well, there it is. Here's my cyclobutane, and then here's my carboxylic acid. And the next one I have is 3-oxo. Do you remember what that oxo is? All right, that's where you have the C double bond, or the double bond O. Okay, so here I have it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, your carboxylic acid is here and your ketone is here. If you recall, we had said that earlier when we were doing the alcohols that ketones, aldehydes, and carboxylic acids have higher priority than alcohols, but carboxylic acids have higher priority over ketones. So if you have both a carboxylic acid and a ketone or aldehyde in the same group or in the same compound here, that the C double bond O becomes an oxo. Now look what happens real quick. I'm going to kind of switch something up here. Okay, so here's my 3-oxobutanoic acid with a ketone. What if I were to make it 4-oxobutanoic acid? Then I have a ketone functional group as well as the carboxylic acid, but that's not what they gave me, so this should have been your right answer, but I thought I would add that to it. And the next one is kind of weird. The 2,2-dimethyl, but then it says a butane, and then what? That little word right here is really important, diiodic acid. So I have 2 carboxylic acid groups. Excuse me. Notice I didn't have to put any numbers on it. Why not? Because the carboxylic acid must always be on the end carbons. Okay, so you have 2 ends here. I put one on the first, put one on the second one. I made this carbon number 1. Here's my carbon number 2. 3, and then another carboxylic acid on carbon number 4. Okay. All right. The next ones you're supposed to name each of these. Well, with the first one, I kind of redrew it out, and it looks kind of like that. This is your first carbon here, and then I have 1, 2, 3 carbons, 1, 2, 3 carbons, and this carbon here has 2 more methyl groups off of it. So one of those becomes part of the longest chain, which is 4-methyl pentanoic acid. Hey folks, did that ring a bell? I believe that is that one right here, isn't it? All right, so that's the only one they had a repeat. The next one I redrew again. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons in the main chain. Off of the second carbon, I have a methyl group, and off of the third carbon, I have a chloro group. So chlorine comes first alphabetically, so it's 3-chloro-2-methyl-butanoic acid. Let's go on the next page. For these next groups, I didn't redraw them. I'm hoping that you're able to kind of figure that on your own. So number 3, I wrote 2-propenoic acid or just propenoic acid. Why would I not need a double bond? Or excuse me, why would I not need a number to justify where the double bond is? Well, when you have 3 carbons and it can't be on the first carbon, and it can only be between carbon number 2 and 3. So you could probably just leave off the 2 because it has to be on the 2. All right, it's one of the few cases where you don't need that. I don't know if you recognize this, but this is a phenyl group, all right, like a benzene group minus one of the H's, and it's off the second carbon. So I have 2-phenylpropanoic acid. Here I have 2 fluorines on the second carbon, so I have 2,2-difluoropropanoic acid. I was on a propanoic acid kick, I think, but this one has 4 carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 3-butynoic acid, all right, and then here I have a benzoic acid with a nitro group. So I have para or p-nitrobenzoic acid. And finally down here at number 8, I have one of these other long words, cyclohexane carboxylic acid. So I hope that worked out for you. Hope it was pretty easy. There's not much really to it, I guess. So don't wait to be great. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.